Chosen soul, something shifted in the atmosphere around you. People are looking at you differently, not with the dismissive glances they used to give, not with the pity they disguised as concern. Something changed in their eyes when they see you now. Recognition, the kind that makes them uncomfortable because it forces them to recalibrate everything they thought they knew about how life works. They're feeling it, that energetic shift that happens when someone's about to break through, when the universe is realigning to accommodate a specific person's elevation. They don't understand what they're sensing, but they know something fundamental changed, and it's centered on you. The person they underestimated, the one they counted out, the soul they stopped betting on because the odds seemed impossible. Watch how they're moving around you now, the hesitation before they speak, the recalculation in their tone, the careful measurement of words they used to throw carelessly. They're adjusting their approach because something in them registered the change before their conscious mind caught up. Instinct recognizes power shifts before logic can explain them. If you can feel the power shifting into your hands and the old guard trembling, subscribe, and right now, type new king in the comments. Claim your throne. This isn't your imagination. This isn't confirmation bias. This is the actual energetic reality of your moment arriving. You've been preparing in the dark for years, building in private, training when nobody was watching, developing capabilities nobody knew you were developing. And now the preparation phase is ending. The demonstration phase is beginning, and everyone can feel it happening even if they can't articulate what they're sensing. There's a specific moment in every chosen soul's journey when the collective consciousness realizes they miscalculated, when the people who wrote you off start seeing data points that don't fit their narrative, when the ones who dismissed you encounter evidence that contradicts their assessment. That moment is now, for you, right now. The shift is palpable. You can feel it when you walk into rooms. The energy changes, conversations pause, people reposition themselves, not out of fear, out of recalibration. They're unconsciously adjusting to new gravitational dynamics. You became a different type of mass, the kind that bends space around it, the kind that other objects orbit instead of ignore. Remember when you tried to tell them what you were building and they looked through you? Remember when you shared your vision and they changed the subject? Remember when you explained where you were headed and they smiled, that smile that says they're humoring a delusion? They remember too, and now they're cross-referencing those memories with your current trajectory, and the math isn't mateing the way they thought it would. You're watching them realize in real time, watching the cognitive dissonance play across their faces, watching them try to reconcile who they thought you were with who you're revealing yourself to be. It's uncomfortable for them, this realization, this adjustment, this admission that they read the situation completely wrong, but that discomfort is their problem to process, not yours to manage. The invitations are changing, the opportunities are shifting, the access is opening, doors that were closed are suddenly available, rooms you couldn't enter are now extending welcome, conversations you weren't included in are actively seeking your input. This isn't random, this is the universe responding to frequency changes. You vibrated differently. Reality reorganized to match. Some of them are excited for you, genuinely happy to see you winning. These are the real ones, the ones who supported you when support cost them social capital, the ones who believed when belief seemed foolish. They're not surprised by your emergence, they're validated. Their faith in you is being confirmed by external results. Hold these people close. They saw you when you were invisible. But others are different. You can see it in their forced smiles, hear it in their congratulations that sound like questions, feel it in their energy that oscillates between admiration and resentment. They're struggling because your success is confronting their excuses. Your breakthrough is exposing their surrender. Your elevation is revealing what they could have become if they hadn't quit. These are the ones who told you to be realistic while they were being pessimistic, who told you to protect yourself while they were protecting mediocrity, who warned you about risks while taking no risks themselves. Your wins make them uncomfortable because it proves the impossible was possible. They just weren't willing to pay the price you paid. Watch them rewrite history now. Suddenly they always believed in you, always knew you'd make it, always saw your potential. The conversations where they discouraged you, That was them playing devil's advocate. The moments they dismissed your vision, that was them being protective. The times they bet against you, that never happened in the version of history they're constructing. Let them rewrite it. You don't need to correct their revisionism. You don't need to remind them what they actually said. You were there. You remember. The universe remembers. That's enough. Your job isn't to hold them accountable to their past doubt. Your job is to keep building your future reality. They'll adjust or they won't. Either way, you're moving. The DMs are different now. The texts have new energy. The calls are coming from numbers that stayed silent for years. Everyone wants to reconnect. Everyone has something to offer. Everyone suddenly remembers how close you used to be. This is the tax of winning. People reappear when you're valuable. They resurface when you're visible. They remember the relationship when remembering serves them. Some of these reconnections are genuine. People who lost touch naturally. People who were dealing with their own battles. People who want to celebrate your wins with no agenda. Receive these with open arms. But some are transactional. People who want access. People who need what you built. People who see opportunity in your elevation. Discern carefully. Your energy is valuable now. Invest it wisely. You're getting asked for advice now, for introductions, for connections, for opportunities. The same people who wouldn't take your call are asking for yours. The same ones who couldn't make time have sudden availability. The same ones who were too busy now have bandwidth. It's almost comedic. Almost, if it wasn't so revealing about human nature and social dynamics. This is where you discover what you're made of. Do you hold grudges or extend grace? Do you gatekeep or create access? Do you hoard opportunities or distribute them? There's no right answer, just choices that reveal your character. Some people deserve second chances. Some don't. Trust your discernment. You've earned the right to be selective. The ones who stayed are watching how you handle the ones who left. Your day ones are observing how you treat the late arrivals. This is the test success brings. Do you become what you hated? Do you replicate the exclusion you experienced? Or do you create the inclusion you wished existed? Your choices now define your legacy later. But here's what's really happening underneath all the social dynamics. The universe is confirming your assignment. Every door opening is validation. Every opportunity arriving is verification. Every person reaching out is evidence that you aligned with your purpose. The external shifts are reflecting internal transformation. You changed. Reality is catching up. You did the inner work they couldn't see, the late nights nobody knew about, the sacrifices nobody witnessed, the prayers nobody heard, the tears nobody wiped, the doubts nobody talked you through. You processed that alone, in the dark, with no guarantee it would matter. But it did matter. It all mattered. Every invisible moment was building visible momentum. They're realizing it's your time because time is an illusion and your time was always now. You just had to become the version of yourself that could hold what was already yours. You had to grow into the size of your destiny. You had to develop the capacity to manage what was waiting for you. The preparation wasn't punishment, it was expansion. Look at who's studying you now. The ones who ignored you are taking notes. The ones who overlooked you are paying attention. The ones who underestimated you are recalculating. They're trying to reverse engineer your success, trying to find the formula, trying to replicate the results without doing the work. It won't work. You can't microwave what requires slow cooking. Your process can't be copied because your process was custom designed for your purpose. What worked for you won't work for them, not because it's secret, because it's specific. Your journey required your exact combination of gifts, wounds, timing, and willingness. They can study all they want. They'll never replicate what was uniquely yours to walk. Meanwhile, you're not focused on who's watching. You're focused on what's building. You're not distracted by the recognition. You're directed toward the next level. You're not satisfied with current wins. You're strategizing for future victories. This is the mentality that separates chosen souls from everyone else. You appreciate arrival without camping there. They think this is your peak. You know this is your platform. They see destination. You see launchpad. They celebrate arrival. You're planning departure. Because chosen souls understand that every level is just preparation for the next one. Every win is just qualification for bigger wins. Every breakthrough is just access to harder problems worth solving. The shift happening around you is atmospheric. You can feel it in meetings, in conversations, in negotiations, in interactions. People are treating you like you already arrived at the place you're still traveling toward. They're responding to your future self, relating to your potential, reacting to what they sense coming. This is quantum mechanics applied to social dynamics. You're collapsing timelines. The future version of you is bleeding into present reality. People are experiencing both simultaneously. Who you are and who you're becoming existing in superposition. They can't track it logically, but they feel it energetically, so they adjust their behavior before their mind explains why they're adjusting. This is why some conversations feel surreal, why some opportunities feel premature, why some access feels unearned. You're being treated according to future you while operating as present you. The gap creates dissonance, but that dissonance is growth. That stretch is expansion. That discomfort is evolution. You're not an imposter. You're just early to your own party. The imposter syndrome is hitting different now. Before it was fear you weren't enough. Now it's confusion that you might actually be what you've been becoming. The doubt shifted from can I do this to is this really happening? Different problem, same solution. Trust the process. Trust the preparation. Trust that you wouldn't be here if you weren't ready. People are asking how you did it, how you went from there to here, how you made it look easy. You want to laugh. Easy. Nothing about this was easy, but you made it look easy because you handled the hard parts privately. You processed the breakdowns off camera. You worked through the doubts in silence. You figured it out in the dark. So by the time they saw results, all they saw was the output, never the input. Let them think it was easy. Let them believe you're lucky. Let them assume you had advantages. The truth is boring anyway. Years of consistency, thousands of hours practicing, hundreds of failures, corrected, dozens of times starting over. The reality of success is repetitive. The fantasy is exciting. They want the fantasy. Give them the fantasy. Keep the reality to yourself. Your family feels it too. Different than everyone else. They're proud, but also processing, because you exceeded the blueprint. You went beyond the family template. You achieved what wasn't modeled. And that's beautiful and threatening simultaneously. Beautiful because you broke cycles. Threatening because you exposed what was possible that they didn't pursue. Some family members will champion you, celebrate you, use your wins as evidence that the bloodline has more potential than previous generations demonstrated. These are the evolved ones, the ones who understand that your elevation elevates everyone, the ones who know your breakthrough creates pathways for others. Honor them. They're supporting generational shifts. But others will struggle, will minimize, will find reasons your success doesn't count, will point out what you haven't achieved to avoid acknowledging what you have. This isn't about you. This is about them confronting their own unrealized potential. Your wins are mirrors, and mirrors show people what they don't want to see about themselves. Love them anyway, from a distance if necessary, but love them. They're watching you rewrite what's possible for the lineage. They're seeing you break ceilings they accepted as sky. They're witnessing you access rooms they were taught were locked. This is hard for them, not because they hate you, because they hate that they stopped trying for themselves. Your old neighborhood feels it. The people who knew you before you knew yourself, the ones who watched you grow up, the ones who saw you struggle, they're recalibrating too. Some with joy, some with shock, some with disbelief. The local kid who made it, the one who refused to accept local as terminal, the soul who left and came back different. You're proof now, living evidence that escape velocity is possible. That background doesn't determine destination. That starting point doesn't dictate ending point. You're the story they'll tell their kids. The example they'll use when explaining that dreams aren't just for other people. You became the permission structure for a whole generation behind you. That weight is real. That responsibility is heavy. Being the first, being the example, being the proof of concept, but you were built to carry it. Selected specifically because you could handle the pressure of being a pioneer. Chosen because you wouldn't crack under the weight of representation. Appointed because you'd use the platform to build ladders, not walls. The competitors are feeling it most intensely, the ones in your field, your industry, your lane. They're watching you differentiate, watching you innovate, watching you capture market share and mind share. Simultaneously, they're studying your moves, copying your strategies, trying to figure out what makes you different. They'll copy everything, except the one thing that matters: your willingness to become obsolete to yourself. While they're perfecting version 1, you're building version 3. While they're optimizing current models, you're developing next generation. While they're defending market position, you're creating new markets. They can't keep up because they're playing checkers and you're playing four-dimensional chess. Different games, different outcomes. Some will try to stop you, will lobby against you, will use their resources to block your momentum. Let them. Every ounce of energy they spend stopping you is energy they're not spending building themselves. Every hour they focus on your downfall is an hour they neglect their own rise. They're defeating themselves while you keep building. Eventually, they'll realize resistance accelerates what they're trying to prevent. The mentors are feeling it, the ones who taught you, coached you, guided you. Some are celebrating, watching you exceed what they achieved, proud that you stood on their shoulders and reached higher. These are secure mentors, the ones who understand that students surpassing teachers is the goal, the ones who pour into you knowing you might eclipse them. Keep these relationships sacred. But some mentors struggle when students level up, when protégés become peers, when the taught become teachers. Their ego can't handle obsolescence. Their identity was wrapped in being the expert. Your growth threatens their status. Your independence challenges their relevance. This is painful but necessary. Graduation sometimes means separation. Thank them, honor what they gave, but keep moving. You're not required to stay small to make them feel big. You're not obligated to dim your light to preserve their comfort. They taught you to fly. Now you're flying. If they can't celebrate that, the problem isn't your wings, it's their attachment to your cage. The universe is feeling it, rearranging circumstances, aligning resources, synchronizing events. You're noticing the coincidences, the perfect timing, the unexpected connections, the doors opening precisely when needed. This isn't luck, this is alignment. When your frequency matches your assignment, reality reorganizes to support execution. People call it being in the zone, in flow, in the pocket. It's actually coherence. When your internal state matches your external purpose. When what you're doing aligns with why you exist. When your daily actions serve your cosmic assignment, everything gets easier. Not because the work is less, because resistance decreases. You're swimming with the current now, not against it. This is your time because you prepared for this time, because you stayed ready when ready seemed pointless, because you kept sharp when there was nothing to cut, because you trained when there was no fight scheduled, because you built when there was no commission promised. You invested in yourself on credit. Now the returns are compounding. The next year will be different from any year before, not because external conditions changed, because you changed. You're operating from new consciousness, making decisions from elevated perspective, attracting circumstances that match updated frequency. Same world, different you, therefore different results. If you know their time is up and your era has begun, type game over in the comments. Tell them to step aside. They're realizing it's your time because time is the only thing that was standing between who you were and who you're becoming. And that time expired. The incubation period ended. The preparation phase completed. The behind-the-scenes work is now front and center performance. And everyone's getting a seat to the show they said would never happen. So let them realize, let them recalibrate, let them adjust to the new reality where you're the one they underestimated who became the one they can't ignore. Let them feel the shift, let them sense the change, let them recognize what they missed when they counted you out. This is your time, not because the clock says so, because your preparation met your opportunity, because your consistency earned your moment, because chosen souls don't wait for their time, they create it. Welcome to yours. The investors who passed are calling back. The publishers who rejected are reconsidering. The companies that didn't respond are suddenly interested. The partners who went with someone else are asking about availability. This is the circle of validation. What goes around comes around, not as revenge, as confirmation. You were right, they were wrong. The market is proving it. Some of these reversals sting sweetly. The ones who hurt you most are humbling themselves most dramatically. The ones who dismissed you hardest are courting you most aggressively. The ones who laughed loudest are quietest now. You could gloat, you could remind them, you could make them eat their words, or you could just win bigger, make their reversal irrelevant by being so far ahead that their apology can't catch up. Your phone is different now. The notifications carry weight, messages from people who matter, opportunities that move needles, connections that create leverage. You used to check obsessively hoping for something significant. Now you check selectively because significance is normal. The frequency of quality increased, the ratio shifted, more signal, less noise. This is what changing altitude does. Different air, different visibility, different neighbors. You're not better than where you came from. You're just operating at different atmospheric pressure. The people at this level have different problems, different resources, different expectations. You're learning the language, adapting to the climate, acclimating to thin air that used to make you dizzy. The media is feeling it. Journalists who ignored you are requesting interviews. Platforms that rejected you are offering features. Publications that wouldn't respond are pitching stories. You're newsworthy now, not because you changed, because perception changed, because the collective consciousness shifted, because your time became undeniable even to gatekeepers who profit from controlling access. Use this wisely. Media attention is currency but also liability. Every word gets amplified, every move gets scrutinized, every decision becomes precedent. You wanted visibility, now you have it. With visibility comes vulnerability. With platform comes responsibility. With voice comes the weight of who's listening. This is the price of being heard. Make sure what you're saying is worth the cost. The speaking requests are coming. Stages you watched from the audience want you on them. Conferences you attended want you keynoting. Panels you applied to want you headlining. This shift is disorienting. Yesterday you were crowd, today you're featured, tomorrow you're they draw. The progression happened faster than your self-concept could. Update, catch up to yourself. When they introduce you now, the credentials sound foreign. The accomplishments sound exaggerated. The bio sounds like someone else. But it's you. You did that. You built that. You earned that. The distance between who you feel like and who you've become is just lag. Your identity is updating. Give it time to install. Your network is transforming, not just expanding, transforming. The quality of connection changed. You're meeting people who operate at the level you're entering, people who've already walked the path you're walking, people who know the obstacles you're about to face. This is peer group evolution. You outgrew the old network. The new one is forming around your new frequency. Some old connections will make the transition, will level up with you, will match your pace, will rise to the occasion. These are your real tribe, the ones who grow when you grow, the ones who don't get threatened by your expansion, the ones who understand that your win is everyone's win. Protect these relationships, they're rare. But many won't make it, will stay at the old level, will resent your departure, will make you feel guilty for growing. This is natural. Painful but natural. Not everyone is meant for every season. Some people are assigned to specific chapters. When the chapter ends, their assignment ends. Thank them, release them, keep moving. Money is feeling it. Financial opportunities are manifesting. Revenue streams are opening. Compensation is increasing. Equity is arriving. The economic reality of your life is shifting, not because you're greedier, because you're more valuable, because the market recognizes what you bring, because supply and demand are correcting in your favor. This is where you prove character. Money reveals, shows what was always there but hidden under scarcity. Some people get money and become generous. Some become greedy. Some become paranoid. some become free. Money is a magnifier, it makes you more of what you already are. Choose carefully what that is. The people who supported you when you had nothing are watching how you handle something. The ones who gave when you couldn't pay back are noting whether you remember. The ones who believed when belief was expensive are checking if you're still accessible. Your wealth isn't just measured in dollars, it's measured in whether you stayed human while accumulating them. Time is feeling it. Your schedule is heavier. Your calendar is fuller. Your commitments are multiplying. Everyone wants a piece. Everyone needs a minute. Everyone has an opportunity. You're learning the hardest word. At this level, no, without explanation, without guilt, without apology. Just no, because yes to everything is no to what matters. Guard your time like you guard your life, because time is your life. The only non-renewable resource you have. Money comes back, opportunities return, but time spent is gone. This season is teaching you to value your hours, to price your attention, to charge for your presence. Not because you're arrogant, because you're awake to what matters. The haters are feeling it most viscerally. The ones who wanted you to fail, who bet on your collapse, who celebrated your setbacks. They're watching you win and it's destroying them internally. Their happiness was contingent on your misery. Your success removes their comfort. Your breakthrough exposes their excuses. They're spiraling while you're rising. Pray for them, not because they deserve it, because you need the release. Holding resentment is like drinking poison expecting them to die. It only hurts you. They're already suffering. Your success is torture for them. You don't need to add to it. Just keep winning. Keep building. Keep rising. Your ascent is their descent. Physics handles the rest. The children are watching, not just yours if you have them. The next generation. The young ones who see you as proof, who watch your journey as permission, who study your path as possibility. You're not just building a business or career, you're building belief systems. You're showing them what happens when you don't quit, when you don't settle, when you don't accept the ceiling is sky. This is legacy work, impact that outlives you, influence that compounds across generations. You won't see the full effect, won't know all the lives you touched, won't hear all the stories about how you inspired someone, but the ripples are real. The impact is happening. The seeds you're planting are germinating in soil you'll never see. Your ancestors are feeling it, the ones who prayed for breakthrough, who worked for opportunity, who sacrificed for possibility. They're celebrating in realms you can't see, because you're the answer to prayers they prayed, the fulfillment of hope they held, the manifestation of faith they kept. You're not just winning for you, you're winning for lineages. Feel them with you, in the quiet moments, in the victories, in the struggles. They're not gone, they're elevated, watching, supporting, cheering. Your wins are their vindication, your success is their answered prayer, your breakthrough is their legacy. You carry them with you, honor that weight, make it mean something. This is your time because every time before was preparation for this time. Every failure was training, every rejection was redirection, every closed door was protection, every delay was development, every no was positioning you for a better yes. The tapestry only makes sense when you see the whole pattern. You're seeing it now. So step into it fully. No holding back, no playing small, no false modesty. This is your time and everyone feels it. Let them feel it. Let them adjust to it. Let them realize what they're witnessing. A chosen soul coming into alignment with their assignment. A prepared person meeting their appointed moment. A seed that was planted in darkness, finally breaking through soil into sunlight. This is emergence. This is arrival. This is your time. The wealth transfer is happening, but you need to be positioned correctly to secure your legacy. Click the video on your screen right now.